Hello everyone, it's me, Nikki, and today I'm here with something a little different. I'm going to be talking about historical mysteries that come out in the month of June. I've seen something like this over at Holly Hart's Books, but she does just fantasy, and I swear I've seen it somewhere else, but the name's not coming to me. So yeah, I found most of these books, or all of these books, at Amazon, and I'm just doing paperbacks and hardbacks that are coming out, because they also do it by like when the audiobook is coming out for a book that's already been released. If there's a better place to find books like this, let me know, because I have looked everywhere, and like a lot of places they just lump them in the mystery section. They don't have like a dedicated historical mystery. So I did find a couple that way, but I just linked them back to Amazon. Anyway, the first book is The Woman in the Green Dress, and that comes out on June 16th. And it is about a Fleur Richards, who is a tea shop waitress in World War I. And unfortunately her husband dies, but he leaves her a fortune, and she doesn't want it. She'd rather have her husband, so she goes to Australia to look for his relatives to give it to, but she becomes the owner of a farm and a curio shop, and helping her is Kip, a repatriated soldier that it says is dealing with the sobering after effects of war, aka PTSD. And Fleur, she finds an item there that is part of a mystery that began 65 years ago, and she has to know what that is, and her and Kip, I assume, figure it out. It's also a romance, so I can also only assume that her and Kip perhaps fall in love. And it's set in Australia, which I don't read enough of myself. So this seems very interesting to me. I do love a historical mystery. I don't mind a bit of romance. It was never my thing, but yes. The next book, also coming out on June 16th, is Vera Kelly Is Not a Mystery, the second in the Vera Kelly novels. The first one was called Who is Vera Kelly? And I want to read both of these because she is a lesbian. And in the first book, it's 1962, Cold War, and she gets recruited by the CIA. And then she goes off to Argentina. So that's the first book. And in the second book, she's now a private detective, and she is chasing a lost child through foster care into the Caribbean. And she finds new romance, a home, all that stuff. So it seems like she's almost a female James Bond, but, better. So I can't wait for that, and I will make sure I pick up the first one. The next one is also a second, and it comes out on June 23rd. It is Deep as Death by Katja Ivar. It is part of the Hella Mauser series. I think it's the second because she was the first ever woman inspector hired in the Helsinki homicide unit, but then it says she's fired. So, and it takes place in March 1953. So 53 and 62 are a little late for me in the historical mystery, but you gotta love a strong female protagonist. And it looks like in Deep as Death, Hella is sort of pulled back into, maybe not the Helsinki homicide unit, but is pulled into this mystery. So I really like it. I would like to read more, wherever Helsinki is. What is that called? Norway, Sweden, Finland, Lapland area. I tried the Harry Holy books and I wasn't a fan, but oh yeah, I think I will like this a lot better. So I'll have to make sure I pick up the first one. Coming out on June 25th is Execution, a Giordano Bruno thriller. I think this is the 6th book, and is set in England in 1586. And Giordano Bruno is a spy for Queen Elizabeth, and it takes place, a band of Catholic Englishmen are plotting to kill Queen Elizabeth and spring Queen Mary of Scots from prison. So I think that was like fairly early-ish in Elizabeth's reign. And so Bruno goes undercover and says, can he stop them before he is exposed? Either way, a queen will die. Bruno must make sure it is the right one. That sounds very interesting, so I will have to pick up the whole series. The next one is coming out on June 30th, and it is Murder at Blackwater Bend, the second in the Stella and Lindy mysteries. And this is about, again, I'm gonna have to pick up the first one. Stella is an American heiress, and she goes to England, but only to find out her father has basically given her away to a Viscount Lyndhurst, aka Lindy. And that happened a lot. I believe Winston Churchill's mother was an American heiress who had all the money, but his dad had the title, and that came together. And Stella is like, no, thank you. But, you know, they work together because the vicar who was supposed to marry them was found dead in the first one, and this is in the first book. And by the time we get to the second book, they are engaged, and Stella is trying to find her footing in the elite circles of England, because that is very different than the elite circles of America. And then accusations fly, and there's a body floating in the river. And it's up to Stella and Lindy to find the culprit before their engagement is kaput, basically. And the final book, coming out on June 30th, is a book called Her Last Flight. I've seen this on Goodreads. It sounds very interesting. I think it's a historical mystery. It's historical, and yes, it is a mystery. It says, in 1947, Janie Everett arrives at a remote surfing village in Hawaii to research a biography of forgotten aviation pioneer Sam Mallory, who joined Loyalist forces in the Spanish Civil War and never returned. It has tinges of Amelia Earhart. And then Janie tracks down people and to figure out what happened, and yeah, and other people are involved. There's another woman pilot who went missing, and she thinks that might somehow be related to Mallory. So that seems very interesting. I do like the undertones of Amelia Earhart. And those are all the books that I could find, historical mysteries, that are coming out in June. Like I said, if there are more, I would love to know, because I love historical mysteries. There were a bunch of medieval mysteries, but they were like reprints, or yeah, reprints. What's the other word? I'm looking it up in a book, so I know the word. Like a second publishing type of thing, or they were in paperback instead of hardback. So these are all new books coming out, not reprints or second printings. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed the sleeping dog in the corner of my video, and I will see everybody next time. Bye.